Hey guys, Naresh here from My Producer Journey. I hope you're keeping well. This is another vlog that I'm doing, and I've slowed down actually doing my journaling entries. And I think the reason behind this is because the topics that are being now looked at are a bit more future and forward looking. Now, at the beginning of the year, I started a vision board, and I think that's really helped to bring the clarity around where I want to go, and the 90-day planning that I've scheduled for myself, as part of which is journaling here and uploading this to this channel. These final chapters, entries even within the mind journal, really now home in on where you're going, or where you want to go, and I think these warrant a bit more time spent on them. So, for example, one of the examples in here is around what's missing from your life, and I guess it goes hand in hand with the previous entry, which is living your dreams. I guess what these two entries are trying to do is to commit pen to paper, delve into detail around where you see yourself, what sort of things have you always wanted to do. And I guess if you're following anything around manifestation, I guess you may then know that the devil is in the detail, or at least the manifestation of what you want really comes to fruition if you're very particular, very specific, very detailed in making sure that what you want actually then materializes in the way that you want it. And I guess what this is trying to do is just that. Now, as I mentioned, I've done a vision board earlier in this year, and it's something I've now managed to get on my iPhone. Something that I did this week, and I worked out using a widget that I can have a revolving set of pictures that remind me of the vision that I'm trying to achieve, and then I guess manifest. Now, I guess for us on this channel, this is all around capability building, productivity and creativity, and a lot of these things will require that kind of level of detail into your vision. So one of the things I actually came across this week that I thought was quite interesting is a interview on the EDM Tips channel by Will, and he interviewed the name of the person that goes out to my head, from the lead person from the Freemasons. And something he said was quite interesting, which was to take a step back and think about how you want your track, your music to feel. It's almost like the customer experience. And this resonates with me because of the professional environment I work in, which is something that looks at what the end user would experience, how they would go through the journey of using a system or and a web page. And it made me think that sometimes we dive into creating sequences or ideas, but they don't sometimes land because we don't actually know what the journey we want the listener to go through. So this made me think this is very much about visioning. It was very much about being detailed about where you want your choruses and verses to come in, and how you want the, I guess, listener to feel, the build-ups that you want. It's quite interesting, I think. Whilst this is actually about visioning, where you want to go as a producer or in your career or whatever creative endeavors that you have, this also kind of ties back to actually when making a track, thinking about pen to paper, which is something that was suggested here, to actually just draw out an arrangement, listening to other tracks that you like, and putting that arrangement in paper loose form of where the drums are and where the vocal comes in, to kind of flesh out on paper what an idea that resonates with you, that you would then fill in the gaps with sounds that you then create. It's something I'm going to try. I think it's not the first time I've come across this, but it just came in at the same time, and I think this is one of the strange things that seems to happen here, that as you journal and as you detail out what you want, you notice things. And I guess this also goes with being mindful. So from the previous couple of videos you'd have seen, I mentioned the Sam Harris app, and I'm continuing to progress with the daily meditation, or as daily as I can get. There are days I miss, and it enables you to spot those things when you hear them, and pick them up, to then be able to then, I guess what you're left with is then applying them. Now I've done journaling, thought about dreams and visions, to then think about being mindful of the topic in hand and not be distracted by other noise, to then come across this interview that talked about those two concepts, about pen to paper, and with a design of a track that the listener would then feel, and then create the sounds and fill in the gaps. So yeah, an interesting week in journaling, meditating, and how this interview came into play. And I guess now I'll put that in practice and try it, and I'll come back and tell you guys how that went, and I'll post up the output of that. But yeah, something I think worth considering. Let me know what you guys think, and if there's other ways of doing this or something else that you've come across, that'd be quite interesting to hear about it. But I'll leave it there. Thank you very much. I shall see you on the next one, which will be next week. Take care, stay safe, and all the best.